Mhm, 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 mhm. Hello, hello, hello. It's been about 20 years. Hey, V Rose. How you doing? I ain't been on here forever, huh? Soon as I press play, I got sleepy. I've been good. I've been good. Just working and doing what I always do and staying away from stuff. I be taking a break off of here. It be a lot going on, more than I choose to handle. So I gotta keep my you know, protect your energy, I guess they would say. 'Cause there be some crazy stuff going on here. You got married? What? Congratulations. That is awesome. I didn't. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so happy for you though, for real, for real. Mm. I literally did not get married yet. Not yet. We shall see. Same old situation. It's not bad. It just ain't time. You know what I mean? Everything has a timing. So I ain't gonna say. I'm just gonna say it hasn't happened yet, but it's not because people don't want to. You know what I mean? I know for me, it's gonna be. You know how you know yourself. So I know there's some things that I want to see accomplished prior to, because I don't want to go into a covenant because that's such a huge agreement to come into. Hey, CP3, that's a huge agreement to come into, and I don't know. I just be kind of feeling like if I go into a marriage knowing I want this, then I can say, okay, let me describe it better this way. I wouldn't want someone to marry me before I do whatever I'm trying to do, before I accomplish that, change it, tie that in up, whatever you want to call it, to come into covenant with me with the expectation of, well, you'll get it done. And then I'm able to be like, well, you married me like this. You weren't saying it then. So, and because I wouldn't want that to be on the flip side for me, then yeah, I ain't coming in covenant with nothing down I don't agree with before marriage, and I'm not going into a covenant with nothing I'm doing that I don't necessarily agree with. That was a whole bunch, but it ain't time. I just really wanted to come on here and check on everybody. I'm still here. Everything is going good in Virginia. So far, so good. Only almost left once. Yeah, just once. I was about to hop my happy tail right back down to South Carolina in my Volkswagen. Just disappear. But in other news, hey, clean. I'm going into a new salon suite. I was at the first one, for about a little over a year. I'm downsizing, unfortunately, but I guess sometimes you got to go down to go up. I love the size of the suite I was in. I love the price of the suite I was in, but there was a lot of things that were out of my control that I was not willing to subject my clients to. So I had to make an executive decision I was actually gonna go into my own office space, like a basically like a mini salon. And the lady said I had to use their plumber to hook up my bowls. And man, it's like I don't know if they don't know how to get in contact with their plumber, but I never heard nothing back. So I was like, well, if I go into this space and I gotta use their plumber and I have an emergency, can I find him? You know what I mean? So nah. So the place I am is actually smaller and costs more, but to God be the glory. That just means I'm gonna experience some increase because I'm about to go up on these prices for one. Nah, just kidding, but for real though. But yeah, everything is good. I'm excited. Um, it's really nice. I'm like, okay, now I can start back coming on live when I'm doing hair. I'm always real funny about just making sure everything is in place where I am. So I got a few more things to do in there, and then I'm gonna start streaming hair. And that's another thing I came to say. I'm gonna start over and start building back up my watch hours and things. But coming from my field, I'm gonna get back to doing my content on my hair. I mean, I'll still do what I normally do, but my main thing when I started this channel way back when was hair. And sometimes you got to go back to the basics. So that's where I'm headed. I'm going back to the basics, but like I really want to make sure that so trying to get me, man, you sound like my friend Adrian. She be trying to get me to come down to Louisiana, and I think that's where she at, if I ain't mistaken. But yeah, just I don't know. I feel like okay, I'm what 53 now. Look, I'm still 53. Starting to feel like I'm gonna be 53 for about 5 more years. Got jokes. But whatever I do from now until I'm done, it has to count. Not that it hasn't counted, but it's like being at the finish line, you know what I'm saying? So when you're at the finish line, your goal is to win. You don't want to see the finish line and then tap out. So it's like anything that I haven't done in my career, I need to implement it. Those ideas that you put on the shelf or the back burner, I need to implement those and do. I've been getting so much inspiration from other stylists and barbers. And because I know my thing is always going to be faith based. And it is so awesome to see like barbers and stylists really being faith based in their business. I remember when I got my second salon, I was like, I wanted to be faith based and it has to be this and has to be that. So many people would say, you know, a lot of people might not like that. You really can't build your brand on faith based. And I'm like, now that I think about it, God, the devil be trying to be slick. And not that I went away from it, but I'm just thinking about how people would try to deter you or discourage you from doing something because they don't have that confidence to do it. It may turn some people off, but there are people who are looking for faith-based establishments. There are people who are looking for something and have no idea what they're looking for until they walk into one of those faith-based establishments. Having a faith-based establishment doesn't mean I'm about to be in there like, welcome to Holy Tabernacle, shiny shoes, hair salon. That don't mean I'm gonna be in there beating people over the head with the word. It doesn't mean that. It just means that the foundation is strong because it's built on God. It's not a lot of riffraff. It's fun, but it's dedicated to God. It's pretty, but it's dedicated to God. The work is the bomb. It's dedicated to God. That's faith based. And we all should have everything that we do faith based. The Bible tells us in all that we do it as unto the Lord. So it's like we forget that little piece in things. That means everything we do. I'm doing this for God. I'm doing this for God. Oh, Rose, you know I'm not listening. But it just takes me back. But now I see a lot of my counterparts that have actually been ordained as ministers, um, deacons. I just seen a lady here. I haven't had the opportunity to meet her, but she caught my eye because she's a barber and she's Caucasian and she cold with it and she's into education and stuff like that. And I happened to be on Instagram today and I saw on her page and she's like, for a long time I know this chair was supposed to be more for just cutting hair and basically launched out into the ministry of it all. And that's what I'm talking about, the ministry of it all. Anything that you do, there's a ministry in it. Ministry isn't confined to four walls of a building they call church. You should be ministry. It's like if you're not ministering, what are you operating in chaos? And ministering is not necessarily only the Bible and God. It's your character, how you carry yourself to be Christ like, to help others, to operate in love, to do unto others as you have them do unto you. Being a light in an otherwise dark place. That's always my goal. Being a light in an otherwise dark place. Some people are consumed by the darkness even as we speak. And how you know that is when you go on, let's say we go on social media and everybody's in an outrage about politics or this and that, things that don't have nothing to do with nothing. Not saying politics don't have nothing to do with it, but once you become so consumed with it, you can't see. You can't see clearly. I'm always a person that's like, I don't know, after you go through so much, you learn to trust God, right? So it's like, because I trust God, those things don't bother me. No matter how crazy the world seems to be, it just doesn't get me in an uproar. It doesn't cause me to be fearful because I know at the end of the day, I got to keep going, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we put a lot of things ahead of, I would say, our reality. Some people aren't operating in their own reality because oh my God, did you see what the president did? He's gonna do this, they're gonna do that, they're gonna do this. I'm like, when do you have time to breathe, baby? When do you have time to breathe? I saw another barber, I think he was out in Arizona. And man, when the clients came in, they would get their haircut. Some of them he would pray for. They had Bible study in the salon or the barbershop. It was just so awesome to see a man. A lot of times we see most women who operate, but we don't see strong men of faith a lot. So to see a barbershop full of faith-filled men, amazing. Because it looked like everybody loved to come there. Everybody wanted to be there. So that's my atmosphere coming along. I might got a little space, but I'm gonna treat it like it's big. I'm gonna treat my little space like it's huge. I know that for me, a discipline thing would be to pray for people more when I come in contact with certain people or certain things, or when you feel led to. A lot of times we be feeling like, dang, I should pray for this person, but you don't. For whatever reason, you don't. It's like it's my goal now is to be more sensitive to what I'm sensing and what I'm hearing and to be obedient to that. You know, what better way to enter into a prayer for someone is when you're getting a scalp massage. Can you imagine how relaxed you are and how open you are to the spirit in that moment? Like as you pray, you're washing all those things out of that person's head that's been holding them down, holding them back, that's been having them bound in a state of depression, maybe, a feeling like giving up. That's what I'm trying to represent. Somewhere you come and meet freedom. That's what I want to provide. Yes, I want to provide you the bomb ass. Oops. I'm not supposed to be cursing. Y'all know I don't be doing that on here. How did that slip out of there? Whoa. Probably because when I that's my passion when it come to cutting hair. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, and you getting a bomb haircut, or you gonna get all that. But I want. Oh, that's how I can put it on my booking site. Right after you get your hair done, you can go and leave a review of about your service. So I want people walking in there like, I went in to get my hair done, but I came out feeling like a new woman in more ways than one. It was this, it was that. I'm trying to create that buzz that my my comments, not comments, my reviews alone will cause people want to come just as much as seeing pictures of my work. That's what I would love. Well, that's what's going to happen. I ain't gonna say I would love. It's going to happen because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm outside. It feels good out here. It was hot earlier, around about 90 degrees. I'm not built for this anymore. Well, yeah, that's what you can be expecting from me. Just coming on a little more and at the salon. I want to get back to going live from the shop, airplane. Where they going? Yes, more content from the shop, showing my work and tagging my area because social media, it's still a great tool. Regardless of what we see going on on social media, that's absolutely crazy. It's still a good thing when you utilize it correctly. Since I've been here, I get so many clients from like TikTok and Instagram. It's pretty dope. I think I got like two people this week that are new from social media. I had like two people last week from social media. It's a steady thing. Sometimes people give up prematurely because things aren't going the way they think they should, or because it's not going as fast, but sometimes it's slow and steady. When you go slow and steady, you're not prone to missteps. You're not prone to make mistakes or take wrong turns. Slow and steady, you see everything ahead of you. Slow and steady and keep it moving. It's so much I think that we miss in life because we rush. We feel like it's like we don't have no time, but we got time. We ain't got a lot of time, but we got a lot of time. The most important thing is what do you do with that time that we do have? What do you do with the time that you do have? Do you complain about the ways of the world, or do you make your mark on the world? Do you go out and reach your goals? Do you make a difference somehow? The small difference you make is big for someone else. I think we still live in a world where a lot of people are even scared to speak like their testimony. And they say our testimony is not for us, it's for the next person. I always think about the preventative things that happen when you share your testimony. Me sharing my testimony with you may stop you from going down the wrong road, especially those testimonies that are attached to the mistakes that you've made or the things that cost you a lot. I've told my testimony about my drunk driving incident, 21 years ago. To this day, there's a part of that I'm still paying for. So if I can give a testimony about that to stop somebody else from doing it, maybe think about it when they're doing it so they're not doing it anymore, why would I withhold that? You know, that'll save a life. If I can give a young lady that's styling hair a testimony of when I started versus where I'm at now and where I'm going, all the ups and downs of it, that can prevent that person from having to go through a lot of those ups and downs that I had to go through. They always say somebody got to go before us. Guess what? We all going before somebody for something. Whatever your thing is, you're going before someone so they don't have to go through it. But are you willing? Are you willing to be the problem solver that you are? The solution for someone else? I don't think people know how cool that is. Life is to be lived. And when you're living, you're learning. If you're not learning, you're dead. How about that? If you're not learning, you is dead, Fred. Man, that's crazy when you think about that though, because you should never stop learning. It's like you should set out to learn something new every single day. That's why I don't like a lot of people will hold themselves like, oh my God, I should have been this, I should have been that. I don't go down that road because coulda, shoulda, woulda, whatever. If it didn't happen, it wasn't supposed to happen. But it's just like you gotta keep going. You gotta do what you do. There's several things in life that would make me want to give up and just be like, forget it. But I dream too big for that. I dream too big for that. Perhaps a lot of people then forgot their dreams or forgot how to dream. You think about some people that just like even dreams when you're sleeping. You hear a lot of people say, I never have dreams. That is like odd to me. Do you never have dreams or do you just forget them? Because sometimes you can dream and not remember it. But I be feeling at times I don't dream. I don't dream as I used to. But I always account it to because I'm not like, let's say when I was really, really, really soaking in the word like I used to, I dreamt all the time. Like I would have all types of visions and dreams and things. So when I feel like those things when they diminish or slack off a little, then that means I diminished and slacked off a little. Now when I dream, it's just always something weird. I have to go and decipher through and make sure I'm not in trouble. We like learn how to pray and find out what your dream is really saying. A lot of times people have dreams and the first thing they'll do is, let's say if I had a dream and Rose was in it, the dream may very well be for me, but the average person will be like, oh, I had a dream about Rose. I need to tell her this. Instead of trying to find out what was this dream saying to you. It's about you. He gave you the dream. Because guess what? God will give Rose a dream for herself. Now, I'm not saying that we don't get dreams for other people, but the first thing shouldn't be, I need to interpret this for this next person who was in my dream, because a lot of times people be in your dream because they symbolize something. You might dream of your father and he symbolizes God. You might dream of your best friend and that symbolizes Jesus, you know? It's symbolic things that happen in dreams where we think it's a literal thing, like, oh my God, I dreamed about my ex. He's this, he's that. That might mean represent a bad decision. Shoot. I don't think there's anything in the dream that can make me feel like, yes, my ex, unless it's a warning for him. Mm, I don't know. Those are the things that are on my mind lately. It's just more focus, more focus. The more you focus, the better things come out. Yep, the more you focus, the better the things come out. It's like, okay, time out for just doing stuff. I done been that person. I think I told y'all a million times. I'm the person that jump out the airplane and then reach back for my parachute. Heck no, I'm gonna keep the parachute on my back. I've worked hard to get away from that. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it, but I'm getting older now, so I ain't got the same, you know. Just like an old person, you take a fall and it's harder for your bones to heal. See what I'm saying? I'm getting older, so me being that spontaneous and that fearless is like, yeah, I gotta keep that in a sense, but I gotta make sure that I'm doing it different now because recovery, I don't have a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Like 20 years ago, I can fail in a business and stuff and boom, start back over. I ain't got time to be building over a clientele again no more. Mm-mm. I don't even want to move nowhere else again. Now, will I take risk? Absolutely. I don't feel like you living if you ain't taking a risk or two. How you gonna know if you don't take a risk? I don't have no problem with being risky. Risky, not risque. I have no problem with that. I think it's more or less not necessarily jumping ahead of the day, but paying more attention. If you always jumping, quick to jump, you ain't paying that much attention. You pay attention after you done jump, and you look back and be like, oh yeah, that was right there, and that was over there. Ooh, I missed that too because I jumped too quick. Or I was busy jumping and I ran past it. Whatever the case. I'm trying to have all my stuff looking right. It's about legacy. Legacy. I still always wonder, like, well, think about, I ain't gonna say wonder. I always think about what I would want people to remember me. What about me? I don't want it to be, oh, she did some nice pixies. Oh, she was a great mom. I don't. Ooh, I mean, I feel like we are so much more than those basic things. So it's like you don't want that to be your memory. I want people to be like, she was inspirational. She made an impact in my life. I remember when this happened and she helped me with this. So I go out of my way to make sure that I'm always kind. Don't cost me nothing. Kindness goes a long way. I think we don't think about the fruit we don't possess enough. Some people walk around here with an attitude talking about God know my heart. No, your fruit stank. It's rotten and poor. Your fruit is stinking. Ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Your fruit's supposed to be intact. I think when we possess good fruit, we have more peace. and we have more peace. Everybody want peace. Everybody wants something, but don't nobody want to take the measures to get those things that they're desiring. You want money, you gotta work. You gotta work hard. You gotta make sure your work is good, whatever you're doing. Or if you're on the job, you gotta make sure you're good on the job. And promotions come up all the time. Oh, I told my dude just the other day, he went for a new job and oh my goodness, I just had a thought. But anyway, that just came out of nowhere. Let me put that on the back burner for when I get off of here. Um, he went for a new job and it's in the same field, but I was like crunking him up because he was mad that he had to move the job. They pissed him off or whatever. And I'm like, no, you gotta praise God through this, no matter what. They were like, "What, we gotta say thank you, Jesus, for losing a job?" I said, "Yes, thank him." You're supposed to say, "Thank you, God, for opening a new door. Thank you for shutting the door I wasn't gonna shut that needed to be shut. Thank you for this new job that's gonna pay me more." Okay. Okay, I'm telling you, I get the clapping and I done turned on a song, what's the song? Praise Him in Advance by Marvin Sapp. I done turned that on, mom. He looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, but this is what you gotta do. I said, when you go to that place today, you tell them, I want $35 an hour. No, I said $30. I want $30 an hour. And his words exactly was, man, they ain't paying that in this field. I don't care what you say. You go in there and you tell them people what you want. I said, my God will make them pay you something where they'll be looking and saying, why do we give him that? What happened an hour later, he called me, said, I think I'm messed up. I'm thinking like, oh Lord, what this man done did. So I should have asked for more money. I should have asked for 35. I'm like, what they give you? What did you ask for? He said 30. I said, what I tell you before you left the house? I told you to ask for 30. You don't never aim low for anything you want in life. You got to think like God for what you asking for. Me, I would walked up in there like I need 45 an hour. They might have came down to 35, but I'm gonna go in there acting like I'm the woman for the job, and you gonna pay me what I say. You got it, man. Negotiations say aim high so they can meet you in the middle. That's how I look at it. Point being, I just literally told him that, and exactly what I said happened. Y'all men better listen to y'all women. Mm-hmm. Cause we be knowing. That's why God put us in y'all life. Y'all got that vision, and we help y'all bring it to life. Telling you. You hear that, Rose? That man got that vision. You help bring it to life. Gotta keep that strong foundation for your marriage. Cause the enemy come to kill, steal, and destroy. The best movie to watch if you ain't watched it is War Room. I ain't even married and I watched that movie. Everybody I know married, if they go through something, I'm like, girl, you seen the War Room? Especially if you're argumentative and like women that like to go off on their dudes. I'm like, man, you need to watch the War Room. Or they husbands. I ain't gonna say they dudes, 'cause I'm gonna go off on my dude. I ain't married. But wives, we gotta fight the enemy, not our spouse. That's why I love that movie so much because she taught her how to pray for her marriage and not fight her husband, how to fight the enemy. Everything need a God foundation, no matter what it is. Relationships, work, everything. Look, without a God foundation, you rolling on luck. Luck runs out, God don't. No, I'm just kidding. I like that though. Luck runs out and God don't. Never will. He won't fail. No matter what you think, what you thought, or what you heard, I promise you he won't fail. It's always that thing I tell people. I'm like, y'all be complaining about stuff. I can't, I can't. If you couldn't do it, God would do it for you. So while we sitting here saying I can't do something and we feeling like, oh, God ain't coming in, he ain't stepping in to do this, it's because he know you can. He equipped you already. He come in and do the things we can't do. He don't do the things we can do. You doing something you can do is the key to having him do something you can't do. He knows you can take it this far. You can do it up to this point. But if you don't do your part to get to this point, he's not going he waiting on you, man. We be waiting on God, he be waiting on us. Like if this girl don't get on the bike and start paddling and come on over here so I can go on and bless her. Well, look at my child. Opportunity right there in front of her. She won't even take a step because she waiting on me and I'm waiting on her. I done gave her everything she need. We are more than equipped. That's why I know myself, you know. Like I was saying earlier, I need to go ahead and make sure that everything that I've said that I wanted my business to look like, it has to look like that. Feel like this is my last hoorah. If I go into another space, it's gonna be when I stop doing hair and I just have a salon to run. I don't want to own and work in the shop. Now, if I own a salon, I'll have me a space in the back so when I feel like it. But it's my idea to train all my my workers to cut the same way I cut, and then boom, let's go from there. Yeah, they could cut the way they cut, but if they at least know how to cut like me, because I'm pretty sure it's somebody that probably better than me, but if they at least know how to cut like me, we all good. You ain't gonna be having no shabby work coming out of there all around. Guess it just boils down to speaking life into your situations. It's easy to speak against the thing that you want so bad. So make sure you're always speaking life into all situations of your life so that you can see it come to fruition. Because if we're not speaking life, then we're speaking death. If we're not speaking anything at all, it ain't nothing to be brought forth. I don't know if you ever think about when they say like the sowing the seeds and things like one plant, one water, and God brings the increase. Do you ever think about how many times someone planted a seed and came and watered the seed, but you haven't seen the increase because of a way you've been moving or your doubt, your fears, your lack of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and those things? Can you imagine how much increase that we got probably sitting on the back burner? Because I know I done had some seeds sown in my life that I done hit a foul on. I don't think those seeds leave. I think when we get back on track, we start to, we see that thing come back around. Can't always have the mentality like, oh, well, that ship has sailed. It might not sail. It might just need one little tweak on your end. It didn't say somebody plant a seed tomorrow and you see the harvest the same day. It didn't even say next year. It didn't really put a time on it. Just that you will reap. If you faint not. Y'all better stop all that fainting now. Let's get up and get what we got coming to us. How about that? But anywho, I'm gonna go in here and get back to watching my little radio podcast thingy that I got trapped watching that I ran into on Facebook. Story is so good, I gotta go see what Mr. Charlie about to do. Cause he a billionaire and don't nobody know it, but like two people. Charlie be wrecking stuff.
But yeah, I just want to say I miss everybody. If you're on here now, I love you guys. If you coming on and might listen to the replay, I love you guys. I miss y'all. And you're going to see me more because I'm about to start streaming from the shop. I'll probably come on in the morning time sometime and do what we used to do if I'm not at work. But for the most part, I'm focusing on streaming from work. So you get to see me do some hair. You get to hear some good conversations amongst some beautiful women. We be having some good topics in there sometimes. So I want to bring y'all along and we're going to go from there. So having said all that, before I go, I pray that God blesses each and every one of you on tonight, that you have sweet and peaceful dreams, that you awaken in the morning with a renewed sense of purpose, that when you leave your house, everywhere that you go, you will have bright new ideas, that you will be a light, you will be shining somewhere where someone needs to see you. You will run into people that can give you things you need and vice versa. I pray for your children that they go to school and they're safe coming to and fro, that they're safe in school. I bless their teachers. I bless the bus drivers and anybody else that has to deal with your children. We want to keep them covered. Yeah. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I just went into straight deep thought. I tell you what, I'll share that later. I love you, V Rose. I miss you. Let me get up out of here. Bye.